Hi, I'm Jude from headfi.org. This is headfi TV, episode 3. When is a desktop headphone rig not a desktop headphone rig? The answer is when it can be powered entirely from batteries, when it fits easily inside of your messenger bag or backpack, and when it looks something like this. This portable rig has desktop audio quality, in my opinion. It's actually quite remarkable. And it's actually a pretty simple setup. This is an iPod Classic 160 in the front. You can use pretty much any of the current iDevices. On the bottom is a Ray Samuels Audio SR71B fully balanced portable headphone amplifier. A great device. We'll talk about it in greater detail in a future episode. But really, it's the middle piece that we're focusing on in episode 3 here, and that's the Cypher Labs Algorhythm Solo. And it's really one of the main reasons this rig sounds the way it does. Now, to explain what the Cypher Labs Algorhythm Solo is, I want to go back a couple of years to when Wadia first introduced the iTransport. A lot of you probably own the iTransport. And it was a very significant device because it was the very first thing that you could buy that would allow you to take the music from your iPod out digitally. And that allowed you to bypass pretty much everything in the iPod that made it sound like an iPod, run that digital stream to, say, a high-end DAC or home theater receiver, and essentially turn the iPod then into just the media-carrying front end of a nice media server. So, the Cypher Labs Algorhythm Solo does everything that the iTransport does it better, and does more. So you can take the digital audio out from it, like with the iTransport, pass it on to another DAC. Here's the digital output. Or you can use its built-in internal DAC, and that's a really cool feature that the iTransport doesn't have. It has a high-quality DAC from Wolfson inside. Actually, let's take a closer look at the Algorhythm Solo now. So you can see again, this is actually a very simple setup. We have, of course, here the iPod. And via this 30-pin dock to USB cable, we're feeding the Algorhythm Solo. Now, by the way, this cable that you're looking at here is an optional cable. It's an upgraded cable. The Solo does come with a 30-pin dock to USB cable, but it's not quite this nice. And this is by ALO Audio. Now, via that USB input, the Cypher Labs Algorhythm Solo is able to take the music from the iPod, again, digitally. Now, for those who are really into computer audio, you'll want to know that it is taking it out of the iPod using asynchronous mode USB. If you know what that means, you're probably going to like that I said that. If you don't know what it means, research it on the web or on headfi, asynchronous mode USB. Now, so it's taking the music digitally from the iPod, and you have two choices on the back of the Solo. You have this output labeled to DAC. Now this is a digital output. You can then take a coaxial cable and pass the digital output to an outboard digital to analog converter. But what's really cool about the Solo, unlike the iTransport, is it actually has a built-in DAC. Again, by Wolfson. It's a high-quality Wolfson Dac. And so here we have the analog output from that DAC. And it says to amp, and you can also hook it up to your preamp in a desktop system. But here, we're using an ALO Audio. Again, this is an upgrade cable. And this is a stereo mini to stereo mini cable by ALO Audio. This is, again, an option. And here I'm feeding the Ray Samuels Audio SR71B fully balanced portable headphone amplifier. And this system, again, gives you then desktop quality audio. Again, it's phenomenal. So who would I recommend the Algorhythm Solo for? I would recommend it for those people who are obviously willing to carry a rig that looks like this. And I know it's not ultra portable, but I've been to headfi meets and I've seen a lot of people carrying rigs this size or even bigger. I'm one of those people. For people like us, the Algorhythm Solo is absolutely breakthrough. It is one of only a couple of components I've so far used that can be used on the go, but that provides desktop source component quality output. So for those people like us, I'd recommend the Algorhythm Solo. And just so you know which headphones I've been using with it so far on the go, I've been using just 2 headphones so far on the go with it. I've been using this one, which is, a lot of people probably recognize this, the Sennheiser HD2512. This is the Originals edition, which is the Adidas branded version. I love the way it looks. I borrowed this from a friend, but we'll have to get my own soon. The HD25 is one of my all-time favorite portable headphones in terms of overall performance. I think that's true for a lot of people in the community, and it performs fantastic with this setup. And then the other headphone I've been using with it is a headphone that several of you have messaged me about to ask what I think about the new Beyerdynamic DT1350. Phenomenal headphone, again, an obvious competitor to the HD2512. We'll be talking about both those headphones in a future episode, and it is quickly becoming one of my favorite all-time portable headphones as well, as far as just sonics goes. It's a beautiful piece, and it goes well with this rig. And these are the two headphones I've been using with it on the go. The other type of person I'd recommend this for, the Algorhythm Solo, and a setup like this for, would be those who want just one rig to use, say, at home or at the office, and you don't really want to buy a second or third rig. You just want something you can take with you everywhere you need to be and get desktop quality sound. I recommend this for you. And in fact, if where you're going allows you to use an open headphone, well, my favorite in terms of performance, sheer performance, my favorite headphones have been pretty much all open headphones. And if you can go, and if where you're going allows you to use open headphones, and or if you already own an Odyssey LCD2, this setup is sick. And I mean that in a good way. It's unbelievable. The performance is ridiculously good. And I've tried a lot of other full-size headphones with this setup, but for some reason this one just seems to synergize with this setup perfectly. So I'd recommend it again for those who have multiple locations, a second home, that you want to just, again, not build a rig for it. You just want to be able to take it, or your office. So I'm obviously impressed by the Algorhythm Solo. It's $579, and I'll give you links on the discussion thread that accompanies this episode on where you can buy it. Also links for more information. I also want to mention, because I think it's important anyway, that the Algorhythm Solo is actually made for iPod Apple certified, which means it's gone through really rigorous testing. I think that's an extremely valid thing to mention. And again, it's made for iPod Apple certified. So I'm very impressed, and that's the Cypher Labs Algorhythm Solo, this one in the middle here. By the way, if you like the music in this episode, it was by Twist7, or is it pronounced Twist, on the Play Me Records label. Now, one of the principals of Play Me Records is Alexander Rawson, who happens to be one of the two co-founders of Odyssey. Thank you for the permission to use the music on Play Me Records. We'll provide links and more information on where you can get the music for yourself.